Casper doesn't like the speaker.
Alright. Turning 18 is a hallmark of any teenager's life. Some may even call it a rite of passage. Well, something else may happen on 18 years old that may not necessarily be a good thing. Imagine a nice new 18-year-old walking out to the mailbox on his 18th birthday or shortly thereafter, probably expecting birthday money, but he opens the mailbox and comes across a nice, crisp new envelope with his name printed on it in a professional, business-looking manner. And he looks at it, and this newfound boost of ego is shortly boosted even more by this little slip of plastic contained inside, his first credit card offer. Well, society may be saying, do it, go get your credit card, sign up for credit, live your life. Whereas I would stand back and say, no, don't. Today I want to share with you why credit is not needed, why credit may be a bad idea, and what we can do about it. Well, first we need to talk about some myths in the credit market. The first myth is that 18-year-olds need to borrow money. Well, what on earth do you need to borrow money for at 18 years old? Some may say, well, I need a car. Well, you can find cars on Craigslist for any price you practically want, starting from $1,500 to as much as $5,000. And you can pay cash for them. Why would you need to borrow money for that? And some teenagers may say, well, I need to move out. I'm 18. Well, I'm here to tell you, at 18 years old, you're probably not ready to move out. You're not ready to take on the form of rent or even a mortgage. Secondly, borrowing money would require a cosigner. And let's all face it, having a cosigner in the family, which is most likely mom or dad, isn't quite that comfortable around Thanksgiving dinner. Next, the modern-day credit system is simply unrealistic. According to Mark Cusson on Investopedia.com in his article in July 2013, credit today is measured by a number called the FICO score, which is simply a measure of how well you can borrow and pay back money versus your net wealth. And according to Cherie Curry in the Washington Post in August of 2013, this very system crashed the market in 2008. Mortgage companies, because of this FICO score, gave mortgages to people that necessarily couldn't afford them, and then they ended up having to walk away. Secondly, you don't need credit to buy a house. There's a system called manual underwriting. And Chris Burke in Veterans United in June 2013 says a zero FICO score is okay for manual underwriting. In fact, that's what it was designed for. The mortgage company looks at how much you make, how much you want to borrow, how much your down payment is, and then gives you a realistic mortgage based on those figures. And underwriting prevents the market crash that happened in 08. It prohibits people from getting mortgages that they cannot afford. Next, credit is a bad idea. Debt always steals from your income. According to Dave Ramsey in his book, The Total Money Makeover, updated in 2014, income is your most powerful wealth-building tool. Imagine being a construction worker and buying a power drill that helps you get the job done a lot faster, but only has a battery that lasts for 5 minutes. This is what debt does to your income. It makes it harder to save and limits you on what you can do. Second, debt creates risk. Imagine a job loss, or you never know when Murphy's going to strike. So debt only makes those situations even worse and forces you to make a decision that you may not necessarily want to make just to keep sustaining your payments on your debt. Credit is a temptation. It makes us more able to buy things we can't afford. According to John Tierney in the New York Times in January of 2007, the same pain receptors that respond when we feel pain are activated when we spend our own money. So how much easier is it to spend money that's not ours in the form of a credit card? And according to Ramsey, statistically, most people are late on their payments. So while that no interest within 90 days credit card of 1% may sound really nice, the mortgage or the credit company usually makes out ahead. So what should we do about it? First, we need to get rid of temptation. Cut your credit cards and sell the toys or the cars that you can't afford. Make a budget. Every dollar should have a name on it, and you should learn to live on less. You should know where your money is going, but if job loss or a pay cut does occur, you should learn that you don't need your full paycheck in order to survive, that you could go for a little bit. Lastly, we need to save and give. You should start contributing early to your retirement, even in your 20s. You're never too early to start, and let compound interest work for you. Build your emergency fund, so that way if job loss comes or if something happens, you have some money to sustain you for 3 to 6 months. And lastly, give to others. Probably the most wonderful part of money is being able to help others less fortunate than yourself. So today we've learned why credit is a bad idea, why we don't need it, and what we can do about it personally. Change your mindset. Do what you can to save, give, and live well. Try not to get in over your head with debt, and do well to make it in the world.